Yeah, my name is Shubham Bhardwaj, and I'm just passed out from my Bachelor's of Technology degree, and I'm currently working with a German-based AI startup remotely. And my project is related to creating a Botpress connector, with which we can create multiple bots and can handle multiple bots inside Rocket.Chat. We already had a connector previously, but there were a lot of limitations with it. So with that connector, we were only able to create one bot, and there was no possibility for that bot to chat in different channels. So I'll just give a walkthrough of how my app works and all.
So
Please tell if you guys can see my screen.
we can see your screen on the Google Meets tab. Yep.
Yeah, now you can see Rocket Chat, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I have just installed the app inside the Rocket Chat instance, and now I'll show you like what are basic commands and how we can, like, how you can get ahead with this app. So first thing is, so when you install this app, so this app provides us like a slash command which you can run to know like what you can do with this app. So let's say the slash command is slash botpress, and if you will just enter this, then you will see like you don't have a bot right now, but you can create a bot, and there are different subcommands also which you can run to create or list, or just if you want to know what this app does. So right now if you see here, I don't have any bot, and if I click on create bot, then I can just create a connector between Rocket Chat and Botpress, and I can mention all the Botpress server URLs which will be used to chat with that bot. So in the Botpress instance, I have already created two bots which I'll be using for the demo. So if you see here, there are two bots, Superbot and BTTX. So what I'll do is I'll just give bot a username. So let's say demo. And the bot ID should be the bot ID bot that you have created in Botpress. So here, let's say the bot ID is Superbot. I'll just give the bot ID here. The server URL should be the URL on which your Botpress instance is running. So in my case, it's locally. Now this service unavailable message should pop up when the server is not running. So let's say I will configure, um, let's say service is unavailable. And there is also one feature in which you can configure like in which specific channel you want this bot to chat. So let's say if you want this chat to only chat in direct channels, then you can just click on this direct channel. So this bot will not be available in channel and omni channel. So let's say for now I'll click all of these three, and if I click on save, then what it will do in backend is it will use the Rocket Chat persistent storage for storing this bot information, and after storing this bot information, it will just use the Rocket Chat API to send a message to user such that he can know like successfully created a bot with username demo Rocket Chat bot. Now if I again run this botpress command, then here I can see that there is one bot that I have already configured, and if you click on it, then you can also update it. Like let's say if you don't want this direct channel or omni channel, you can just do some updates here, and if you click on update, then it will just ping you that it's updated. And for now, I'll just for this I'll just change the scope to all channels so that I can just give a demo. So now you see that we have created one bot, and we have the functionality to create, update, and delete bot directly from the Rocket Chat app. And now let's say there is one use case then that this bot is not added in this channel, but now what we want to do is we want to chat with this bot. Now in general channel there can be hundred of people who are added to that channel, and let's say every 10 people want to chat with us with this bot. So what this offers is, so let's say if I want to chat with this bot, so I'll write demo Rocket Chat bot, and I'll write hey. So what this bot will do is this bot will reply in the thread, so that every thread is belongs to different chat. So let's say if I do another thing here, demo chat. Okay. So this is the different instance of that chat, and this is different instance. So here a whole different chat can happen, and here another different chat can happen. So yeah, if that makes sense. So now let's say if I want to chat with this bot and I said like demo rocket chat bot here, then it will. So what backend what we will do is, so we have the endpoint with which we can conversate with the bot in Botpress. So we'll call that endpoint with the data that user has provided to us, and that the JSON response from Botpress will be of different type. It can be multiple choice question. It can be image. It can be audio. It can be video. So all these things are taken care by the Rocket Chat connector app. And as soon as we'll receive the response, we'll parse this response into different message blocks, and we'll send that back to the user. So let's say there are 5 messages, and if I click on content type demo, so what will happen is as soon as I click on it, we'll send the message again to. So what will happen is if I click on it, so we'll just fetch some data from the action IDs which we have already created, and after fetching data from action IDs, we'll just send that particular message content type demo to the Botpress app. So, we'll send this message to Botpress, and Botpress has different sessions for different chats. So for this session, the session ID would be the thread ID, and every thread will be a different session of chatting with Botpress. So let's say if I write content type demo, so it will just send some. These are just content types that received from the Botpress API. So you see there are different things. Now for this chat also, if I click on content type demo, so I can just chat here also. So yeah, this is how we can chat in channel. So anyone has any question? Okay, if not, then we can move to omni-channel. So one more thing which was lagging in previous WordPress connector was, so we were unable. So let's say there are two different omni channels, and now we want that two different users can chat to two different bots, which was not possible. So I'll just show you. So let's say this is one chat, and this chat is handled. So I'll have to create an agent first for that bot. So the bot name was yeah. So if I just add this bot as an agent here, and in current chat, so there was already one chat which was happening. So let's say if I'll transfer this chat to this bot, so now this bot will also be able to chat in omnichannel also. So let's say if I say hey here, so here also we can just get all the responses which we're getting in the channel, but here the session ID will not be the thread ID, because here the session will be constrained to the room ID of that room. So if I say in here, if I do this content type demo, here it will do this. So if I run this video, it will run this video, and if I run this audio, so this is Duda. And yeah, so this is, and now let's say if you want to transfer this chat to another bot, which was not possible previously. So what you can do is you can just create another bot. So if I go here, I'll create a bot. And now this time I can use this BTPX and new demo bot. What I will do is 1000 not available. And let's say if I same here, if I'll just add these three, if I save. Now let's say for this chat I want to transfer it to different bot. So what I can just do is I can go inside omnichannel. I can add that new demo bot here, and in the current chats which was currently served by the demo rocket bot, I can transfer it to the new demo bot. And now if you see, if I'll say hi here, now the responses will be different. So it says, so now we are chatting to different bot. Now let's say if we say what is the context, so it will say this. Let's say I click on giraffe. So it's right listening, start again. So see how easy it is to chat with a bot. You just have to, you have buttons, you can just click on buttons, you can just transfer that chat to another bot if that bot is unable to reply. And let's say what is bot memory. I just clicked on it, say it will be listening, nice, all of this stuff. And also we can chat with this bot in personal. So let's say new demo bot. So this is the personal room for me and this bot. And if I just say, hey, so in this direct chat, I don't have to mention this bot because there will only be a single session between me and this bot. So let's say, hey bot, what's up? Same here. Same thing will happen here also. And now if for some reason I changed the bot scope, so if I run this command, and for new bot, let's say I remove the direct. Let's say I remove that it shouldn't chat in direct. If I update it, and now this bot is updated, this will also give you a message that this bot is updated. Now if I say hey, hopefully it shouldn't reply. So you see it's not replying now because we have constrained the scope of this bot to only reply in omni-channel and the channel, so it won't reply here. And now this project is so configurable that not only for Botpress, this will work for any other bot provider. So let's say Raza, any other thing. You just have to configure the URL of the bot, and you would be able to you'll be able to connect this app to a numerous number of bots providers. And yeah, and I think, am I missing something? You guys can ask questions if you have.
Oh, congratulations, Shubham. As the mentor, I'm very proud of what we have done, and especially your efforts. And some it's interesting what Shubham said, that the idea is to use this as a base for other bot implementations, right? So we have, for example, Raza. We have Dialogflow. Any other implementation, we can create a new app using the same technique that we have used here, right? So that's very interesting because it can serve as a way in order to have a standard, a good bot implementation. Some of the challenge that we have faced is that, consider that you're having now, you can create a direct with two bots, right? That can be a problem because let's say I am talk I for some reason I create one direct message with two bots. So whenever a bot will receive, they're going to start talking with each other. So we discovered that on the hard way possible. So we also need to prevent this somehow, and maybe don't allow a bot to talk with each other, otherwise they can go into a loop. So that was very interesting when we found out that the bots were talking with each other. So it was a very fun project, and I'm very happy with the results. So if you have any questions, please feel
Yeah.
free to jump in.
Yeah, and it hanged our system once. Both were talking to each other. Okay, then I think, yeah, if any feedback from you guys, that will be appreciated.
I have a question, Shubham.
Yeah,
Like the action button that you have defined here, is it also customizable by the user who is trying to install the bot, or is it not possible?
right now it's not possible, but yeah, that can be done. But that should be done while creating bot, right? There you can customize like what all themes you want for a specific bot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So does it requires changing both the bot as well as the bot press side any code, or we only have to make changes on one side and
Oh,
it will be auto flexible?
yeah, so you just have to update the persistence. So persistence should know like what are the themes for that bot, and then you just have to update those places where you are creating these buttons and can just pass the styles from those persistence, and then you are done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question, but not technical one, related to what are the next steps? What do you see as next steps going forward with these features?
Yeah. So there was one more feature which we thought that we'll build after the GSoC period, and that is like different bots would be. So let's say each user can give that bot an ability to only be updated by a specific user. So let's say you created one bot, and that bot cannot be updated by other people. So that should be updated by admins only. Something like access to bots. So different type of user have different access level to different bots. Something like this. And
Great.
one more thing that Divanshu suggested, that we can also customize these stylings and all those stuff. Okay. And also like we can also extend this project to other bot providers also, and we can try testing whether it seamlessly works with other providers also, and what are all the changes that we'd have to do with the project to support other bot providers.
Yeah, so the idea is that maybe you can use the same application to connect with different bots. So it could be like a generic bot connector,
Yeah.
or but that's a very hard thing to tackle. But also you can this can be used as a base for new implementations, right? So if you want to rewrite, for example, Rasa bot, you can use the same technique, the same idea in order to use the Rasa, but with different multiple Rasa bots, or Rasa indirect, or Rasa in omnichannel. So right now we only, for example, Rasa, we only have it for omnichannel, right? And if you want to use Rasa for direct, it doesn't have an app, but you can use it like direct integration with webhooks, which is not ideal. So now with that, we have everything set for new implementations, even if it's a different app, or even if it's the same app that can talk with different bot providers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any question, but I want to say congrats for the project. It's really nice to see that we are developing kind of a framework, let's say, with such good options to start having a pattern among all the apps we are developing and the community that's developing for bots and Rocket.Chat. It facilitates a lot on the creation of the new ones and improving the experience of the existing ones. So thank you, congrats for that.
Thanks. Okay. Then if there's no question, then over to you, Saris.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And again, great presentation.
Thank you.
I believe we are going to progress with our next GSoC contributor, Vinayak. I see that you're ready with us. So
Yeah.
whenever you want.
Hey everyone, let me start sharing my screen. So yeah,
We can
this
see your
is
screen.
okay. So like my name is Vinayak Sharma, and my project is whiteboard integration for GSoC 23, and my mentors are Shikime and Douglas Google. So like let's talk about what this project is. So whiteboard integration is a project built for providing whiteboarding features within users' workspace using Excalitur's existing solution. So like you might have used whiteboard before, like Miro whiteboard, Collab mode, and Excalitur, but we want to integrate this whiteboard into the Rocket.Chat only. So like we don't have to use any third-party app for providing whiteboard experience. So yeah, these are some of the points why we need this project. To use whiteboards, we have to rely on third-party sources, and most of which are not open source. So like Excalibur solution is open source, so we decided to go with that. And most whiteboards store your data in a browser cache. So like there's no permanent record of your data. Like if we remove the cache, we can lose our data. Sometimes the whiteboard ideas are critical, so we want to keep them in our workspace. And like we have to like start up quick our workspace. Like we have to share our ideas quickly, so we can do it with this app. What are some of the current features of a project? We can use slash commands or action buttons to start up a new whiteboard. We can store real-time previews of our boards. We can modify settings to edit the board names. We can modify the permission system to make the board public and private. And we can also store external files and images in our boards. So let's take a demo of the project. So like this is the workspace general channel. So and this just starts up a new whiteboard for us. We can go and click on this edit board, which fires up a new Excalibur screen React app for us. We can start editing on this. And what you'll see now is we can store the real-time previews of our data as a preview image. And so like we can also upload file images also here, and which are also stored in our previews. So yeah, that's the one of our main features. So let's talk about how this all works. So like this is the architecture of our whiteboard app. We start with Excalibur client folder. We bundle our whole React app into JS and HTML files, and we then serve them on the two endpoints of our whiteboard app. JS files on the bundle.js and HTML file on the board. We can then use the get route and the update route to get the board data from directly the Excalibur app. So here we can like get our data when initially like if we so if this data is stored in our persistent storage. So whenever we refresh or reload the board, this data gets loaded into our workspace. And these assets are what makes the Excalibur app work in the browser. And the whiteboard app makes and sends and updates the Rocket.Chat messages. We use like Rocket.Chat UI kit for registering all the buttons and the attachments in the messages. And we like store all the data in the Rocket.Chat app storage. So yeah, that's how the basic architecture of the app is. So like some of the difficulties we faced during the project. Our earlier project was using iframes. So like iframes. So like initially we used whiteboard to generate a screen here which we could edit. But later we realized that it was not feasible solution because when we load our workspace or when we reload our page, all the workspaces get start up at the same time. So like it takes a huge load on the server. So yeah, we decided to take this new approach where we